If you are involved in fight sports, whether it's recreationally or competitively, and you don't want better cardio, you're crazy. Cardio has helped me so much throughout my career, whether it's dealing with super high level opponents, those guys that had the belts behind me that I defeated very much because of my amazing cardio, or if it's at the gym and you just don't have to worry about gassing out when you're doing rounds with bigger people, stronger people. Cardio always plays a massive part. Today I have 5 tips for you that will help you improve your cardio without me saying you need to work harder, faster, get to the track, run and run and run. These are little tips that I have learned throughout the years that I didn't initially do, but now I have implemented and they are just killing it for me. If you'd asked me a decade ago for some of my biggest tips on how to improve cardio, I would have given you my best running routines, my best training tips at the gym to really push yourself to destroy your body. But something that I have learned throughout the years is it's not always about that. There are small little things that we can do outside the hard cardio which are going to help. And that's what we're talking about today. So let's get right into it, and let's start with our tip number 1, which is utilizing smaller breaks. I swear this has made so much of a difference, so much of an improvement in my cardio. When we used to go and do pad work rounds, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do 6 rounds, and we'd take the minute break. And I always felt like, yeah, okay, I'm getting in better shape, but it's not leapfrogging. Now, when I take my 30-second breaks, which is my go-to in between any round of pad work, or sometimes even in sparring, 30-second breaks, you come back out and you're still huffing and puffing. You have not fully recovered. So that means right away, as soon as the round starts, you're already feeling fatigued. There's never that, oh yeah, okay, I'm ready for the next round. And I really believe that has helped me. If you guys are looking to improve your cardio, chop down your break, whether it's running, the break in between sprints, whether it's at the gym doing your bag work, sparring rounds, bag work rounds, skipping, shadow boxing, 30 seconds has become my go-to. The next thing which I have learned throughout the years, and this took a long time, a lot of damage to my body, a lot of recovery required, because I did not realize you want to work harder, not longer. And now, many of you on the channel are looking to have your first fight, your second fight, your third fight. You're thinking about having a title fight, maybe around number 10. And you're going, I want to improve my cardio, and I just don't have the time for it. Well, don't worry. You don't need 2 hours to go and do cardio training. I used to do that. Now I don't. Now I do 45 minutes to an hour, and that's for a professional athlete. That's my cross training, and I can get so much done in that time. But I focus on the really, really hard stuff. The thing like running 400-meter sprints, sprinting the length of the soccer field and then jogging the width, sprinting the length and jogging the width. Trying to do things that are so rough and tough on your body but take a small amount of time. I really believe those are better than slow, long, drawn out workouts. So if I was gonna say to you, how do you push your cardio? Work harder, not longer. You can get entered at this website by clicking the link in the description below. The giveaway closes soon, so get registered as soon as possible. The next thing which I love to do, and I'm a real big advocate for this, is mix things up and surprise your body. Example, years ago we used to start every training session with something called circuits. The circuits would consist of 3 3-minute rounds. We would start off, we'd do something like run on the spot. We'd go push-ups, sit-ups, burpees, squats with front kicks, really fast punches. We would do 3 threes of these. And when I first started doing them, my heart would be just pounding at the end. But eventually, after literally a decade of doing this, I could go in and I could not get tired. It's like my body knew the routine, and didn't matter how hard I pushed myself, I would never come out going like, and then all of a sudden you go to the pool and you sprint 1 lap and you come out, you're going, whoa, the world is all spinning. Mix up your running routine, throw in something like an assault bike, change up the timing of your bag work. Instead of 3-minute rounds, do something like I blast for 30 seconds, I take a 10-second break. I blast for 30 seconds, 10-second break. And don't get locked into routines where you only do that and you do it for a long period of time. I do have set routines, but I'll touch on them and then I'll do something else the next day, and then something else the next day, and then something else the next day, and then maybe a week later I'll come back to that first routine which I did. Sometimes I'll throw in brand new things which I've never done before, and I might never do them again, but they shock my body, and that is something that I feel like athletes need, because when you get in for a fight, it's never going to play out the way you think. There's always some element which is new and surprising, which you have not dealt with, and you want your body used to that. You want your cardiovascular system used to that. I was just working with somebody last week, and we were talking about how to improve their sparring cardio. And I did a round with them. I'm like, okay, you look like you're breathing a little hard. And then the next round I said, what I want you to focus on is relaxing outside of everything except offense. How do you relax during offense, right? You step in, you're trying to be really fast, you're trying to be sometimes hit fairly hard. It's hard to be like, oh, on offense, put in 20, 30% effort. That's just you kind of doing this. So offense is always going to be putting out lots of energy. But outside of the offense, if in sparring rounds or in a fight, you can minimize your energy output between, you're going to feel like your cardio is just so much better. It will allow you to properly breathe and recover. If you're on the outside and you're tight, and when somebody goes to the offensive, you're blocking and you're really locked in, you're not breathing, you're going to feel exhausted, because offense takes a lot of energy. Defense takes a lot of energy. You might be nervous and you're bouncing around a lot. That takes a lot of energy. You feel like your cardio is garbage, and it's really not. You're just not maximizing the time of rest between your offense. The final tip that I want to give you today in regards to what I've learned throughout a long fight career about cardio and how to maximize it is do things that scare you. If you go to do a workout and you're like, oh, it's not that bad, I can get through it. It's not really like the fight. When you go to the fight, your heart is racing, you're nervous, you're scared. Focus in on the workouts that do that to you. I have 3 in particular. When I go and I'm actually driving to the workout, I'm already getting those butterflies, those bit of nerves, because I know how hard it is. And like I said, we're not going for a super long workout. It's not like I'm like, oh, I gotta go and do a 20-kilometer run. I know how much it's gonna hurt. We're talking about really, the part that scares me, 3 to 6 minutes of pain. It's not crazy long. And you think, well, that's kind of like the fight. It's going to be really fast and really short. If you're not scared of your workouts, it doesn't have to be every time you do it, but once or twice a week where you go and you're like, oh man, I really don't want to do this and I know how much it's going to hurt. If you don't have those, I feel like you're not maximizing what cardio training should actually be like. And like I already mentioned, this is a great opportunity for you to go and do something that actually scares you and still perform. Because that nerves, or those nerves and that anxiety is going to play a factor in how fast you can run, how hard you can hit the pads. It sucks away that energy, but it gives you that ability to still go and train under that stress and pressure and see if you can actually still perform. If you take these 5 tips and you add them to your training, I really think you're going to feel your cardio just boost up. And while it's not everything in the fight game, you can't go and simply win fights by just having great cardio. It never hurts. It never hurts to have better cardio than the person across from you. And more often than not, that great cardio will sort of balance out things. If they have better technique than you, as the fight goes on, their technique might falter. If they hit harder than you, the further the fight goes, that power is decreasing. Cardio does so many positive things for you when you're competing or when you're simply training in the gym. It makes it a lot more fun too. It's not fun being always bent over and hurting. So when you can get to the point where you do those crazy hard things, everything else in comparison actually is very enjoyable. So let's call it there, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please give it a like. As always, guys, train hard. I will see you back here soon for another video.